The first time she said it out loud, it came out as a whisper meant only for herself. I can't do this anymore. The words slipped between sobs as she sat in her car outside a crowded cafe, mascara streaking down her cheeks, phone vibrating again with messages she didn't have the strength to read. Inside, laughter spilled through the windows, people on dates, friends clinking glasses, strangers pretending life wasn't heavy. For her, the weight felt unbearable. She had dressed up for a date she didn't even want to be on, hoping, desperately, that tonight might fix something inside her that had been breaking for years. Her name was Maya, and she was tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. Tired of being strong. Tired of pretending she wasn't lonely. Tired of being the reliable one at work, the supportive friend, the woman who always had it together. The date inside the cafe had been arranged by a well-meaning coworker who insisted Maya just needed to get back out there. But as she sat there alone in her car, staring at her reflection in the rearview mirror, all she could think was how close she was to driving away and never trying again. Inside the cafe, Daniel adjusted uncomfortably in his chair, glancing at the door for the 5th time in 2 minutes. He wasn't supposed to be here long. He had promised his daughter, Lily, that he'd be home early to help with homework and read their nightly chapter of her favorite book. Being a single dad meant time was always borrowed, always carefully counted. But when a stranger at the next table stood up abruptly, knocking over a chair and storming out while muttering something cruel about wasting time, Daniel noticed the woman he'd left behind. Maya sat frozen, eyes locked on her coffee cup, hands trembling. The date hadn't even lasted 10 minutes. He'd criticized her job, her quiet nature, her sad eyes, before deciding she wasn't worth the effort. When he left, something inside her finally cracked. She felt small, invisible, and foolish for thinking things could be different. Daniel hesitated. It wasn't his place. He didn't know her. He had responsibilities waiting at home. But he also recognized that look, the look of someone barely holding it together. He'd worn it himself after his wife passed away, during the months when grief felt like a permanent shadow and he wondered how he could keep going for his daughter when he felt so empty. He stood up, walked over slowly, and spoke gently. "I'm sorry to interrupt," he said, his voice calm and warm. "But, are you okay?" Maya looked up, startled, embarrassed by the tears she couldn't stop. She shook her head, trying to smile. "I'm fine. Really. Just a bad date." Daniel nodded, pulling out the chair across from her but not sitting until she gave a small, uncertain nod. "Those can feel worse than they should," he said. "Sometimes they hit something deeper." That was all it took. The kindness in his voice broke through her defenses. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered, the same words she'd said in her car. "I'm so tired of trying. Of being rejected. Of feeling like I'm never enough." Daniel didn't rush to fix it. He didn't offer clichés. He simply listened. He told her his name, shared that he was a single dad, that his wife had died 3 years ago, and that some days he still woke up feeling like he was failing at everything except loving his daughter. Maya listened too, surprised by how easily she opened up to a stranger. They talked for nearly an hour. About loss. About expectations. About how lonely it feels to be surrounded by people and still feel unseen. Daniel paid for her coffee before she could protest, stood up, and said, "I should get home. But, I'm really glad I met you. Tonight mattered, even if it didn't start the way you hoped." Maya watched him leave, something warm settling in her chest. She didn't know why, but his presence had steadied her. That night, for the first time in weeks, she didn't cry herself to sleep. What Maya didn't know was that she thought about Daniel constantly after that. She replayed his words, his patience, the way he made her feel human again. She told herself it was silly, he was just a kind stranger. But every time she felt overwhelmed at work or lonely at night, she wished she could talk to him again. Fate, however, wasn't finished. 2 weeks later, Maya volunteered at a community fundraiser her company sponsored. As she carried boxes of donated books into the hall, she heard a familiar laugh. Her heart skipped. Daniel stood near the stage, helping a little girl with braids adjust a crooked name tag. "Lily." Maya recognized him instantly. Their eyes met. Surprise turned into smiles. "Looks like we keep running into each other," Daniel said. They talked again, this time with Lily between them, shy at first but quickly warming up to Maya. Over the next few months, they kept meeting, sometimes intentionally, sometimes by coincidence. Coffee turned into walks. Walks turned into shared dinners with Lily. Daniel never crossed a line, never rushed anything. He was careful, protective of his daughter and of Maya's heart. Maya fell in love quietly. She loved the way Daniel listened. The way he put Lily first without making Maya feel second. The way he showed up, every time, without grand promises. But she never told him how she felt. She convinced herself that he saw her only as a friend, maybe as someone safe after years of loss. Then came the night everything nearly fell apart. Daniel showed up at Maya's apartment unexpectedly, Lily asleep in the car. His face was pale, eyes heavy. "I'm sorry," he said. "I shouldn't have come like this. I don't know who else to talk to." Inside, he confessed his fear. Lily's school expenses were piling up. Work was unstable. He felt like he was failing her. "Some days," he admitted, voice breaking, "I think she'd be better off without me." Maya took his hands, firm and steady. "Don't say that. You saved me the night we met, and you didn't even know it. Lily needs you. And I need you." The words slipped out before she could stop them. Silence filled the room. Daniel stared at her, stunned. "You need me?" he asked softly. Maya nodded, tears streaming freely now. "I've loved you for months. I didn't think you could feel the same." Daniel pulled her into a hug, holding her like she might disappear. "I thought loving again would break me," he whispered. "But you didn't save my date that night, Maya. You saved my life too." They cried together, not out of sadness, but release. Years later, Maya would stand in that same cafe, now holding Daniel's hand, Lily grinning between them. Life wasn't perfect. It was still messy and demanding. But it was real, and it was shared. Sometimes, the moment you think you can't go on is the moment someone quietly steps in and reminds you why you should.